Thank you. Hey everyone, this is NJ, host of the NJ podcast, and welcome to another segment of the conversations, part of the podcast. And the theme of the podcast is success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That means you're going after what you've always wanted to go after because it's aligned with your highest values, and that is the only way for you to live a truly fulfilled and successful life. And today on the show, we've got interesting guys, very interesting guys. We've got Lukho there. He was on episode 28, I believe. It was a very good episode. He'll be glad to know I've changed a bit of my views on Floyd Mayweather. We'll get into that.
As you should.
As I should. I didn't say it got better. It might have gone worse. You never know. I'm kidding. And then we've got Paballo. And we've also got Tsiamo on the show. And we're going to be talking about very much centrally on the upcoming book I've been writing. Because y'all, they pray for me. Father of Man, 5 ways to build better men. And I want to talk about the challenges of masculinity, the challenges of being a man, and the challenges of being a good man, wanting to be a good man. It's hard enough trying to be a man. Now it's hard enough being a good man, and all the challenges that we all face. Because I feel that there's a lot of people who are talking about things that are wrong. Men are trash. Men aren't standing up. Am I next? I need a good man. There are no good men out there in the streets. First of all, why are you in the streets looking for men? I don't know. But so we're going to be talking about that. And I'm not even going to put like a disclaimer and saying the things you may agree with. That's fine. If you disagree, just disagree with the argument. Don't make this a personal attack on character. I think that's good to have the good debate. We wanted to talk about real issues. So look there. Thank you very much for coming on again. The second time around. I hardly do repeats, but you're on.
Yeah,
you're on. That was a repeat, as you should.
I am great. You have to bring me back. I know in the comments they were probably like, "Bring Lukho back." And I was like, might as well.
Might as well bring you back. Tsiamo, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to meet you. It's the first time me meeting you. We're gonna have interesting conversations just based on what what we were talking about before we got on. And then Pubs, thank you very much. I want to know, do you sell beard oil yet?
No, actually, actually, a friend of mine tried to get me into selling beard oil.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
It's not for you, eh?
Just the entire salesman thing isn't for me. I think I had a bad experience because I was in a pyramid scheme.
You're in a pyramid scheme. You are in a network marketing organization. It's not a pyramid scheme, because everything is a pyramid scheme. If you think about it, government's a pyramid scheme.
No, not everything's a pyramid scheme.
I tried to defend y'all in pyramid scheme. I tried.
The difficulty of trying to recruit people.
Yeah.
Into a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Made me never want to sell anything to anybody again.
Already, we're not even 10 minutes in the show. Already, we're offending people already.
And I won't mention what the name of that.
Let's not. They don't have ad space here, so we're not going to punt them at all.
Y'all try to recruit me into that thing.
I was also a part of it.
Listen, I can't even blame you because I was part of a network marketing organizations before. It worked out well for me. I worked out well for me, but then I realized it's better to build your own brand than to find someone else's brand.
Also, because you're not even selling the products, you're selling a potential lifestyle from the products.
So what was the difference between you and Pastor Chris in terms of being a prosperity preacher? What was the difference? Look, what was the difference?
Let that man explain himself.
You know what the difference is? He's selling something people already believe in.
Oh yeah.
That's a good point.
So he's selling their belief system right back to them.
Yeah.
People don't believe, for instance, in buying, a detergent for $400. And I have to convince them that, hey, if you buy this, you can potentially be rich in the future. Toothpaste, 250.
250
I remember came back home and they were like, yo.
It's 6-pack of Corona. Look, that's a 6-pack of
There's
Corona.
Colgate and then
there's Colgate and then there's that.
And then you have to convince them that this is a better product.
Uh-huh.
The only pyramid scheme I actually do back is Herbalife.
Herbalife.
Because you actually see people get results.
First of all, like people are going to fetch you for calling it a pyramid scheme, but we'll, for lack of a better word, we'll call it a pyramid scheme.
Yeah, look, actually, I don't know too much about Herbalife.
Yeah.
Let me just put it out there now.
Yeah.
But people have tried to recruit me.
Yeah.
And if you try to recruit me,
yeah.
I mean, what do we call this thing? Do you know what I'm saying?
It's a network marketing organization.
So, but I do back, because I've seen it bring results to people's lives.
Okay, so like you don't have a problem. So what I'm hearing is that you don't have a problem selling something that will actively, positively impact someone's life.
Definitely.
Yes, I'll say this. The difference with Herbalife, I suppose, is that they're not just selling, the potential to be rich.
Yeah.
They're selling you a healthy lifestyle.
Sure.
So if you go in there and you don't make any money, but you follow their program, the training,
you will have a healthy lifestyle.
The quality of your life is going to improve. Now, if I bring somebody into this, and I remember, as a matter of fact, with this particular network marketing company,
thank you.
I was with. There was a guy who was trying to do this, and this is years later. And he was trying to do this in a poor community.
Oh, yeah.
So I had a talk with him, and he felt like that's going to alleviate the poverty, at least in his small community.
Sure.
And I said, no, what it's going to do is that it's going to take more money out of people's pockets.
Yeah.
And it's going to collapse eventually. It always collapses. That's the nature of pyramid schemes. Very few people actually make money out of from the pyramid scheme. So everyone at the bottom is just feeding,
the people if you get in early enough.
So would you take the opportunity to get into a pyramid scheme early?
That's a very good question.
I would.
Yeah, I'm a real capitalist here, like all capitalists.
Low risk. If I don't have to put up too much capital, returns are insane.
Yeah,
I would. If I'm willing to lose that money, then yes.
You guys remember the WhatsApp one?
Was there a WhatsApp one? No way.
Don't you remember? I forgot.
There was
what it was called. People were don't you remember the WhatsApp one?
Was it Triple M?
Oh, where the people are in groups and then they put money up and then somebody just leaves the group and all of that with the money and stuff.
Yeah, so it was the
is that what happened?
Kind of structure.
I remember getting a WhatsApp like that. I'm like, so many people in a group. I leave group. They probably thought I left with the money. But no.
But you see something like Triple M. Now that's something that I wish I could have gotten into. It came before my time.
Where do you find this guy?
No, because you see, if I'd gotten into Triple M very early, I know people who made several $100K on it.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that you might bet quite big on. I wouldn't say put your pension in it.
Yeah. Well, some people would, but people have.
Actually,
take out a small personal loan if you're not liquid at that point.
Exactly.
A small
personal loan for hopes of gains. My goodness. All right, cool. So I want to pose this question to yourself, Paps. Tsiamo. What are men getting wrong?
What are
men getting wrong? What because I preface the show by saying, there's quite a narrative that's saying that men are trash. Okay.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but all men trash. I don't know. Yeah. There was a hashtag that came out years ago that said, "Am I next?" Okay. And now they want equal pay. Okay, sure. Now men are being worked out of jobs. All right, that's nice. But the question, our focus is on what can men do better. I think that's what I would like the focus to be. So, like, what are men getting wrong? I know it's like a broad.
It's such a broad,
as a broad, but I'm asking from your perspective. What like just generally speaking?
Yeah, that's a very broad question. I'm of the opinion that it starts off at the home.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that it starts off at the home, and
sure.
I think in our country, particularly, fatherlessness. Yeah. I have to go there. I have to start there. You know what I'm saying? Fatherlessness is actually a very big
Father's
issue.
Day's around the corner, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think fatherlessness is a very big issue, and has kind of led to men not being molded and actually taught a lot of things in the home.
Yeah.
Because I think that a lot of people, a lot of boys and men have learned and leveraged off like people who already lost.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just one part of the problem. I'm not necessarily tackling the am I next or whatever, but just to start off there, that's one of my observations that I can pinpoint. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. You know what I'm saying? I'll let us build from there, but I'm gonna lay that one there for now. You know, before I start going direct into anything.
So, like, from your perspective, what is your definition of what a father is? I think because people have different views of what a father actually is. What is a father? Is it the fact that you can have a baby, or what is what is a father for you?
You're putting me on the spot very early, but it's cool.
Yes,
cool.
Yes, I'm putting you on the spot because the things that you said we can't talk about. So we are gonna talk. We are gonna talk right now about what a father.
About this and that.
Yeah, we'll talk about this. Jeez, like that was such a hot topic.
Yeah. But
yeah.
Look, to be honest with you, I wish I knew what being a father meant.
Like
if I'm being very honest,
it's so deep.
You know what I'm saying?
You won't bring me deep people. Eh?
So there's some poem. There's some poem. Look, I know my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a relationship. I see him every now and then, and that was the case. But like, it wasn't in the traditional sense. You know what I'm saying? So there was some poem, some guy who used to be in my church, right? He dropped. I was listening to it like 2 days ago, actually. His name's Mandla. He's a killer. You know, not in the.
He's a killer, or like
not in the literal sense of the word.
Okay.
Right. And he has a line. He has a line where he says like, something along the lines of, back at home, they say that I've made something of myself, but they didn't know that when I was visiting my friends, I would be scrounging for free lessons on manhood.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe the fathers that were there, if they knew I was taking notes, they would have had even more prepared for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a poet, by the way. He's a poet. But yeah, that line, he said that line, I heard it in like 2017. It's never left me. You know what I'm saying? Because it was quite poignant. But I wish I knew. But as time has gone past, I'd say being present. I'd say being present and providing support, not just like in various ways. You know what I'm saying? Like emotionally, 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 obviously, like financially and stuff like that.
Sure.
But making a concerted, noticeable effort.
Sure.
To guys, Naswa, it runs away from me sometimes.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm trying to say.
I know.
You know everything I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that like a father is someone who's present, is invested in the children, and is a good example, whatever that is.
Yeah, it's just doing their best, man. Who's just there? Being there is like kind of half the job, I think.
Yeah.
And setting a good example, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So why do you think, perhaps, why do you think a lot of people are, there's such a fatherlessness pandemic, especially in SA?
You know, it's quite interesting. I had this talk with a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And it's more prevalent in the black community.
Yeah.
Than in other communities. And that's just, the reality of things. Some people would say it's because of a breakdown in gender roles. But I honestly think that families are not as close-knit anymore. And therefore we have, boys running around not being held accountable for their actions.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You've got a son. Your son goes and impregnates another girl, another woman. How are you comfortable with your son just not taking any responsibility for it? So, the biggest issue is that nobody's holding us as men responsible for our actions or inaction.
Yeah.
It's good.
And I think it comes down to just family dynamics. You know, families should be holding, you know, the sons responsible when they go out and make kids. I mean, I think what's beautiful now is that, and, you know, I stand to be corrected because I'm not a legal expert, but my understanding is that...
Disclaimer.
You can claim maintenance from the grandparents, I understand.
You can claim maintenance from grandparents.
Yeah, I've heard people saying that on Twitter, that if the father's not paying maintenance, you could actually institute a claim against his parents.
Jeez. Wow.
And I'm for it, you know, because his parents aren't holding him responsible.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, we get away with things in our home.
Yeah.
And as a result, when we walk out into the world, we feel like we can get away with things there. And so I think that's where the issues start.
Yeah. So like in essence, it's actually quite funny. Someone's also said exactly the same thing to me, is that guys are lying to each other. In the sense that we don't hold each other accountable for the BS that we do.
Yeah.
And also the BS that we don't do.
Like, for example, I'm just thinking about it now, as you say.
Yeah.
You know, for example, if one of your boys cheats.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Right?
Talk to him.
You're just like, hi in China. Away from that's what most gents would do.
Facts.
Instead of accepting, it's like, hey, dog, you have a good woman at home, you're going to weigh inside. You know what I mean? That's also just like a starting point.
Yeah.
As Pabs was saying, that accountability, your family, but also your friends.
Yeah.
And I think also if you look at family structures, if you look at home, right, in terms of family structures and holding people accountable, the Whit days are women.
I might need another one.
You might need another one. Can you just
we'll
get you one. Yeah.
Is that have you ever noticed that in a household they're all the ones held accountable in terms of doing their chores, etc. But the gents, we don't do nothing. We're just chilling, etc., etc. And then that the accountability point starts from there, and then it grows and manifests into pregnancy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For example, now your son got somebody else pregnant,
Sure.
but you're mad at the Whit day and saying you're trying to trap my son. Man, your son's probably the one who said, listen, let's not use a condom.
Man, please.
You know what I mean? No, you see, so it goes back to the accountability point of family first, but also your boys, where they're just like, yo, dog, do whatever you need to do.
Do what you need to do.
You know what I mean? So, as Pabs was saying, in terms of accountability, I think it lies in aspects of family structures, but also the people that you surround yourself with. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Can I add to that?
Yeah,
please?
add to it. Go ahead, yeah.
So, and the people you surround yourselves with, I want to pick up from there. So now, we're in a place and time where we're surrounded by a lot of lost sheep.
What do you mean lost sheep?
Sorry, that I try to metaphorize it too much, if that's a word.
So, but who are the sheep, or is it the men? Or is it
No.
the women,
I'm just trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, it's like the lost leading the lost.
Sure, blind leading the blind.
Like there's the blind leading the blind. That's the correct terminology. So we surrounded by that. That's where we are. At first, it may have been like surrounding ourselves with the wrong people, but if this thing is like some sort of a plague or a cancer, or like the weeds growing. There's too many weeds now. Like it's a bit of a forest.
Yeah,
that's the state of affairs right now.
Yeah, I mean, so like, okay, so
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. I think it sounds like excuses though. And the reason I say that is you know what's right, you know what's wrong. You have a baby with her.
What if you don't know what's right and what's wrong? Some people legitimately don't know what's right.
So you're trying to tell me you don't have logic?
Some people don't. Yes. Some like.
No, unfortunately,
I can agree with him. Like for instance, you know, when we speak about things like abuse, there are men and women who believe that you have to hit your partner.
Yeah, man.
You know,
or he doesn't love you.
Exactly. You know, and
that's an actual belief system.
That's not knowing the difference between what's right and what's wrong. You know, so and a lot of it really comes down to the way you grew up, and also the friends that you choose to make. You know, you do have a choice, at least, of the people that you surround yourself with. You don't choose your family, but when you grow to a certain age, you know, In fact, from primary school, you get to choose who your friends are. But those choices, of course, are affected by the way that you grew up.
Yeah.
You're naturally going to gravitate to a certain type of person depending on the way you grew up.
Well, that's very true. That's very true. I mean, like you're saying, it's excuses. Like some people genuinely, for me, this is my belief. Some people genuinely don't know what the right thing is. And some people don't know what the wrong thing is.
The blind leading the blind.
I personally can't agree.
You can't agree with that.
I personally can't agree. I just honestly think as much as obviously you grew up that way, you're trying to tell me you don't know no better. With everything that's around us, with all the information that's around us, you're trying to tell me you don't know no better. Like you don't know hitting a woman is wrong.
No, I mean, that's an extreme example.
That's a very extreme
Okay,
example.
let's speak about this. Cheating.
Yeah.
Right? There's people who feel there's nothing wrong. I'm a man. I can go out and get another girl.
Facts. Facts.
Now, they don't think
Facts.
there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah.
Well, there is something wrong. With
Well, you know that.
no, but the thing
You
is,
know- you know that.
No, but also, sorry, it also depends on what they're trying to. What's their end goal at the end of the day, right?
What do you mean? What's the end goal?
What's your end
Who's
goal?
the end goal?
To polish. Oh, jeez.
Exactly. That's what I'm like. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, like I
You know
mean,
what it
like,
is?
are you looking to be a gent that's settled down, married, and stuff like that, or you're just looking to finish everyone? Right?
Can I take the story further very quickly for that?
Wait, just before you
Go
go,
for it,
why is it a choice between only those two options? What if you're on both?
You can't have both. You can't have your cookie. You can't have your cake and eat it, fam.
There's many men who have both.
Well, obviously, then they were stupid with days now, innit?
Now,
No. let me lean in here.
Sure.
Let me lean in here, right? So you know that, Blues, right? And there's a world where the only example people have and lifestyle that's normalized is dudes moving like that. You know what I'm saying? And we all have stories. Maybe like you in, I don't know what, you in grade 6 or whatever, you've got a girlfriend and there's some homie who's in your neighborhood and you tell him that, hey bro, like of this girlfriend of mine, but there's this other girl who likes me. And the advice he might give you is like, hey, nah, just go for it. Just don't tell this one. Be smart, boy. And just imagine, bro, like when you're young, you're so impressionable. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm saying, like, there is an element of the blind leading the blind. Because when you're young, you're very vulnerable, you're very impressionable.
Yeah.
And it's also the fact that some people might lack examples of these things being modeled to them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because someone has to model it for you. Not all teaching is done by not all teaching is done by like it's verbal. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why sometimes your parents could tell you something like, and they'll be shouting at you when you're young. They'll be like, "Who have you seen in the house do that?
Facts.
Where did you learn that from?" You know what I'm saying? So it's examples, bro. Like and it's.
You bring up a very big point. I mean, think about it this way: if every man was acting quote unquote right, quote unquote right, I wouldn't need to write a book on this. If everyone was quote unquote acting right, we wouldn't be having a conversation about this.
We wouldn't be compelled.
Huh? Wouldn't be compelled
Yeah.
because like there was a burning need to say, okay, guys, we need to just talk about this. And a lot of people, they don't know what a good person is they've got, okay, listen, I will agree with a Blues on this one. It's the first time in the history of life I'm calling it Blues. Am I part of the boys now? Can I get my card there? No? Okay, never mind. I tried. So, I think, and I don't have data to back this up, everyone knows inherently what is right and what's wrong, okay? But I think inherently, like inherently, like there's a feeling. Like if I go and punch you in the face, and the
You
kid
got
looks
that
at
from Romans chapter 1, but let's proceed.
What? Romans chapter 1, yeah, like left them over to their own passions, yeah, 100%. Like, but even in that case, there's 100% they know that this thing is not the best for them, but they're choosing it. Some people, they don't know at an intellectual level what right is and what wrong is because it hasn't been modeled to them 100%. There are some people, I don't care who it is, who best. Who best?
That was a saga, man. Yes.
Like who best? Like no one can actually say that he didn't know what he was doing was wrong.
You know what the thing is, man?
I'm saying because of what he's been exposed to and the level at which he was operating. When I say level, I'm talking about the intellectual level he was operating, the intricacy of the scam that he was running. No one can actually say, shit, that guy was a victim, eh? He didn't know what he wasn't doing, whatnot. There was some level of knowing what you were doing. Maybe you didn't think about what the consequences were going to be at the end fully. But I'm all about personal responsibility and personal accountability. That's just me. Because if I give my accountability over to you or you, I'm always going to be a victim. I think it's both. I think some people didn't grow up knowing fully what a good man is. For sure. But inherently you will know what the wrong thing is. And a lot of people are just choosing what's easy because doing the right thing is hard, eh? I mean, you're married, it's hard. Well, doing quote unquote the right thing for you, it's difficult.
It is difficult.
Yeah.
But also I want to touch on the pussification of men.
I think that's an important one.
Okay, explain. What is an important one? What is this? Me and you born again, so I'm asking you. I don't know what.
Where?
Oh, you're talking about? Is that the demasculization of men?
Yeah,
that's exactly.
Is that it? Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think that also is playing a big role in terms of how people are being, what's this thing? Raised or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right? Is you're told that you're not a man if you don't do X, Y, and Z. Men don't do this. Men shouldn't do this. Example. For example, like, bro, men shouldn't be able to defend their home. Men shouldn't be dangerous. You know? Yeah. I know Jordan Peterson once said, learn to be dangerous, right? But just learn how to control it.
Yeah.
Right? That's a very good point. You have to be strong as a man. Because at the end of the day, if you're holding the shoulders of your entire family, you need to be strong mentally and I also think physically.
Talk to him.
Right? So the pussification of men in terms of demasculating him, that, you're not a man, or anybody can be a man. No, not everybody can be a man.
No.
I hate to say it, but not everybody can be a man. And not everybody can be a true man. Not everybody can be present.
Yeah.
In their family. Not everybody can be present with their kids. Not everybody can be present with their wife. True man is present. A true man is there.
Yeah.
So if you look at the pussification of men, where they're demasculating what a man is, where they're saying that everybody can be a man, what value does a man really have then?
Yeah. Because if everyone can have it, then it's not very valuable, right?
You know what I mean? So I think that's also a very big point in what's going on with everything that's going on with the demasculation of men and what being a true man really is.
Yeah.
And because also, if, for example, I'm raised in a point where there's no value in being a man.
Yeah.
You don't need to hold me accountable for anything that I do because apparently I'm not a man.
I have to talk to him.
You know what I mean? So there's also those things, those dynamics play a lot.
Yeah.
You know? I'm going to leave it there. I was going to go very south. I was going to go very south.
I don't think we'll go any further south further because we're in South Africa already. I remember this, like a quick joke. I remember I was in the UK on like a school trip. Yes, I went to the UK on a school trip. What? So what? My parents worked hard, okay? So then I went because apparently there's something wrong with that nowadays. Apparently there's something wrong with working hard so your kids can go overseas. Apparently that's wrong. Apparently people get dragged for that. So then,
the morality issue in this country is quite crazy. It's okay to date a criminal.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Pops, don't do that.
You're a disgrace if your parents have money and they spend it on you.
Like, I'm telling out, jam. How? Just like, anyway, so.
Ridiculous.
Sorry. Data criminal. Shots fired. Shots fired. That wasn't me. So, I remember this American lady, one of this American lady asked, all right, so where you from? Like, I'm from South Africa. And then she said, where in Africa is that? I said, at the south, as suggested in the name, South Africa. so we can't go any further south than that. I was doing some research on stats around men. Because this interview like what Jordan Peterson did, a GQ interview, right? So this lady said that she wants things to be equalized. She said people in positions of power are men, people who earn the most money are men, and so there's this gender disparity.
I remember that interview.
Did he not murder her with facts and data? He was like, okay, so he was like, most people in prison are men.
Yep.
Most people who get murdered are men. Most people who are subject to violent crimes are men. Most people who drop out of school are men. Most people who work dangerous jobs are men. Most people who are illiterate are men. Most people who get fired are men. Most people who die in wars are men. Most people who are bricklayers are men. Most people who want to, like, who die protecting people are men. So where's the disparity here particularly? So what this lady was doing, she was just taking a small percentage of people who are in power and using that to represent sonk. Like sonk, like
That's
everybody.
that's the smash and grab doctrine.
Is that that's interesting. I've never heard of smash and grab doctrine. What is that?
You take one little bit of something without context, and you take it and you move with it.
Oh,
So you base an entire argument on
a small
small percentage.
Exactly. And then for me, like also like it became very like a lot of people are putting this argument because think about this. Remember the Titanic? Like I think Rose let Jack die. Okay, Rose let Jack die.
Both of them on that thing.
Both of them could have been on that raft.
Rose is Leonardo DiCaprio's hand, ne?
Yeah, in that movie. Yeah,
someone else's wife.
Wait, Rose was married. Wait, Rose was married.
Fiance, wife, kafana. They were like,
Oh snap! I didn't even.
oh, you didn't know?
Yeah, he sniped out the guy.
Yeah, there was
a
he
prick.
got sniped. Yeah,
Just
got
then, I see.
Nah, Rose was holding Leonardo DiCaprio accountable for cheating.
like you gotta
Yeah,
die.
my man cheated. My man, he was sniping her. Her real man died.
I've never thought.
I need to rewatch that movie.
Yeah, so the smash and grab doctrine. I'm gonna write about that, but I won't credit you.
No, man, I didn't credit the person who I got it from either.
Thank you. Me, I'm an artist. Good artist copy, great artist steal. Steve Jobs said that. So Steve Jobs is my guy. I'm following him. So whatever.
Don't follow him to the grave, though.
Huh?
Don't follow him to the grave.
I don't plan on following him to the grave. Yeah.
Look, we all are.
No, we all
Eventually.
But, literally. But just give me his money. I'll max out the 20 years left I have. If you give me his money. So with the Titanic, and I think Bill Burr. Do you guys know Bill Burr, the comedian?
The comedian, the white guy. He's always cracking those.
What? I must put you on. You need to get on that. Bill Burr's like, he's funny. I'll share it. So in the Titanic, when things were going south, literally, what did they say? Right, the people who are going to the lifeboats, who goes first?
The women.
Women
And the
children. Who has the highest probability of dying? Men. Now, given that you are in that situation, should men not be getting paid more? Because your life is literally in danger in when things really get south.
See, I think that's what's tough about this era. You know, we're sort of going into an era where there are no gender roles now. And that is what's leading to the pussification of men. Like, just, men just aren't men anymore. You
sound like you're 50. What? You sound like back in my day. That's
no, man, I have an old school point of view.
I think old schools need it nowadays.
So, like, for instance, you see a lot of these guys on social media who just adopt, this extreme feminism that we have, and it's like, dude, come on, man up.
Hey,
and what
man.
people don't realize is that
do the right thing.
The removal of gender roles has actually helped the guys who don't take accountability not have accountability anymore, because we don't hold them accountable as men, right? Because it's a free country now. Everybody can do their own thing. So we've eroded accountability now amongst men, because we don't see them as men as back in the day. I mean, back in the day, if you had a family as a man that you weren't taking care of, you would be a social pariah. Like, dude, you're not taking care of your family. Nowadays, you can get as many kids as you want pregnant. You can dice. Maybe somebody will say something on Twitter. It blows over after a day. Thanks for coming. You rebrand.
I mean, you're mad.
That's what's hot now. So yeah, man. I think the erosion of gender roles, it's very tough, man. Because I do think women deserve equality, particularly in the workplace. That. I just think it's becoming harder for us to define our roles in relation to each other.
Sure.
I mean, you guys are married. I can imagine the difficulty of trying to determine your roles. You both go to work. You're both coming back at the same time. Who's going to cook? That's a small thing, right?
Yeah.
But who's going to cook? Oh, now we have to share this. Oh, who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? So it becomes tougher, man,
Yeah, I think what is staving a lot of, because my personal belief is that everyone must get married in the traditional sense. Traditional sense, it's you, Mfundisi, church, obviously do the cultural aspects. You have to do that. That's very important. And you as the man, protect, provide, and promote your woman. That, I believe everyone should do that. I mean, I was asked, I'm going to ask you this question as well. I was asked.
Before you continue, you gave the responsibilities of the man there. I didn't hear any responsibilities for the woman.
I'm going to get there. You see, he's holding me accountable.
Man said equality everywhere.
Everywhere.
Hey, man, let's keep the scale balanced.
Well, let's keep it which is very true, which is actually very true. So the question I was asked is, what is the best thing about being married?
You're asking us that?
Huh?
You're asking us that?
No, I was asked this.
Yeah.
It would be unfair to ask you because
you're not married.
You're not. You're not in the land of the living as yet, or the land of the dead, depending on how you see it. No, that was a joke. So I was asked. For me, it's peace. For me, that's the best thing about being married is peace, because I know when I go home, my wife is there. She plays her part in terms of the cooking and the cleaning. I help where it was. I help. She helps me a lot. Like when I've had a tough day, I can rant to her. When she's had a tough day, she rants 5 times more, because women, they talk.
They don't run out of words.
They don't. Yo, they don't. They can talk. Yeah. They can talk. So for me, it's that peace. So to me, because I don't have to run around. I don't have to. Some men, they choose to, but for me, I know very well I don't have to. And I know that if things go south, and things have gone south for me, not in the marriage, but just in life, that she's there to be your rock and to be your peace. So for me, that's the peace. And that's why I believe everybody should get married, because it grounds you, it focuses you. Obviously, you're married to the right person. If you're married to a person who believes in the demasculization of men, who's jiving. Okay. So that's the best thing about being married for me. That's why I want it for everyone. Some people shouldn't get married, I believe. Some people have no business being married because they need to change the mindset. I'm not talking about you guys. You guys, I want to invite to your weddings. So that's the best thing.
There will be weddings.
No, there
Wow,
will be
please.
weddings. There will be weddings. Everything at the right time.
Yeah,
What's
everything.
the-
Like again,
What's
everything.
the standard time frame? You have to date your hand for 10 years.
10 years. This guy's not getting married. This guy.
You know, we're
Babs.
applying the
Babs.
standard protocol.
I can't stand the some guys meet a girl today, and in 6 months they're already married, and some get married, stay married for the
that's
rest of their
dumb.
life.
But yet again, some guys meet their girls in Vegas and get married same day.
I'm not talking about Vegas. Vegas is like, come on, like, no, I'm not talking about
joking.
Vegas. I'm not talking about Vegas. So Lukho, what's your best thing about being married for you?
I think the calmness, man. Like,
I see.
my life is just calm, bro.
Tranquilo.
Like, my weekends, I'm just chilling. I'm watching TV. I do whatever I want.
Watching LeBron get swept.
Yes.
That doesn't sound right. You do whatever you want. That didn't sound like that was honest.
Yeah, like if I want to play
in
games
the
the whole
house.
day, in the house,
Oh.
I stay in the because honestly,
Wait.
like there's nothing out there. Like, you're saying, firstly, alcohol is expensive in the club. I realize that shit now. That shit is expensive.
It's
Only
economics.
just to talk to some woodday you might not even go home with. That's
You're
fine.
very dangerous.
Like,
Yeah, turn
I'd
out,
rather
man.
just have my peace at home.
There we
You
go.
know, I chat with my woodday.
Yeah.
We talk, we laugh, we'll watch South Park. We'll watch all these stupid, I won't lie, they're not stupid though. All these 90 Day Fiance shit. Actually, those shows are interesting.
No,
Like,
no.
That's on you.
Give
I
me your
don't care.
man card. I want your man card. I want your man card. No, I'm kidding.
Like, it's just the piece of it. Also, as he was saying, coming back from work, I get to rant and be like, hey, man, it's just the piece behind it. you
Yeah.
know? I think also in our household, we have a very good balance of
Yeah.
chores. Like, I understand there are days where she can't get to certain things, so I'll get to them. But then she also understands there are certain days where I can't get to stuff, and, you know, she needs to step up as well in terms of those. So it's just to balance the piece behind it. Also, just she helps me grow as a human being in terms of other things that I want to pursue outside of work.
Yeah.
You know, understanding that there are certain things I need to push, and she'll push me like, "Nah, you need to do this, bro," as you said you would. You know, holding me accountable on the certain goals and stuff that I wanted to do. You know, and then also the things that she wants to do. So just helping her grow. Because the thing is, the nice thing with my relationship is that we've seen each other grow from varsity to graduation the first one, then honors, and then getting jobs, and then getting promotions together. You know, just seeing that whole growth spurt between us has been great. So it's also amazing in terms of our marriage, where we see each other grow as people. In terms of not only achieving what we want to achieve inside the marriage, but also wanting each other to prosper outside of it in terms of other things. You know, because at the end of the day, if she does good on all those stuff she needs, listen, she's getting the bag for us.
Exactly.
You know, but I'm also getting the bag as well. You know, so it's just the growth aspect.
What if she
of
earns
it.
like 3 times more than you?
Then she earns 3 times more than me.
More money for me. Don't tell out, Joe.
Like, the thing is also like, it's also if let's say your partner earns more than you, right? Like a lot more than you. The bill shouldn't be 50-50 neither. I am a big believer.
So who should be paying more?
The person who earns more.
Of course. Listen, it's 2020.
Because you can afford it.
Guys, it's 2023. Do you know the type of goals we have around today?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm not agreeing with you necessarily. I'm not necessarily agreeing with you and saying like, yeah. But I mean, all relationships are different.
Yeah,
Amandla.
Mandela.
No, guys.
I'm just saying, don't be obviously. Let's say somebody earns more than the other.
Yeah.
like you can't be nitpicking everything in terms of. Listen, I put 500 rand for groceries when I fucking 500. That shit doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Look,
You
guys,
know what I mean?
we spoke about the pussification of
Yeah.
and
Talk to
now
him,
we're
let's see.
talking about 50-50 splits on bills and things of that nature.
Chat.
I really do think that in a household, and you guys have your own household, so maybe you guys do things differently. I do think that as the man, you should be striving to take on the bulk of the household expenses. I think that's your duty. You know, it's different if you're
Sound like a dad, guy.
no, it's the truth. Though.
sound
I think
like
it's
my
different
dad.
if your woman earns, you know, exceptionally more than you do. You know, so much so that she's putting you in a completely different environment with, like, if you marry Adele, you know, 100 million USD net worth, of course.
That's a different story.
Yeah. But, you know, in our realm, I think you should be striving to take on most of the expenses.
Yeah.
Regardless of how much your hun earns.
Of course. No, of course. Look, I relationships are very different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? There's very different relationship dynamics. Just because obviously there's different people dating different people, and their relationship works whichever way they work. You know what I'm saying? From the one end of the extreme to the other end of the extreme. But, and I'm not disagreeing with you. Like, I think that is something that dudes should have. You know what I mean? You should definitely be striving to do that. There is a thing where, because I wanted to go back to what you were saying, like the 3 times more thing. If someone earns 3 times more than you, and you live with them, they are putting you in something different. Do you know what I'm saying? Depending on how much the final thing is. Do you know what I'm saying? Because what I'm trying to say is, here's what I'm trying to say. My point is that the type of woman we have today, and I'm speaking mainly to like people who also look down, or not look down, or like who are intimidated by women like doing well and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm speaking mainly to the type of women we have today. You know, and I'm saying
It's not the 1920s anymore. You know what I mean?
bro, like, go to varsity, go check out like a lot of like, go check out like your post-grad classes. There's a lot of women doing great things, exceptional things. And if your age group was one of the people today, those are likely some of the women you're probably going to find yourself with. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's understandable that things might look differently for you than things may have looked in 1980.
Yeah, but I still think you should be striving for it, you know.
Which I agree
maybe you
with
don't
you.
have it now, but I think that you strive
That should
for
be
it.
your goal.
And that's
Yeah.
probably the only positive from guys like, you know, Andrew Tate. You know, because they're holding guys responsible that, dude, you should work harder. You know, you should work harder. You know, you can't be the second hardest working person in your family structure.
That's hard.
Uh,
You understand? That can't be the position that
Has he
you
been talking
take.
to Shotgun Trey?
No, but guys, pubs, you know where this thing gets different, bro.
Yeah.
You know where this thing gets different.
Yeah.
You can be the most hardworking man in your household if you're a gardener. Do you get what I'm saying? Doesn't mean you're not working hard. Just means your labor per hour is very different to her labor per hour.
No, look, there's,
You know what I'm saying?
No, there's
so you can mow. I don't know how many lawns you can mow in a day.
Yeah.
No, but there's exceptions to rules, and those are exceptions.
Yeah,
like, how
those-
many gardeners are dating millionaire women? You know, so you can't use like
That is a very
such a
Secretly,
massive outlier.
Secretly, we don't know.
You can't use such an outlier to base a rule on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, of course, there's exceptional circumstances where, you know, you're probably never going to get to that level.
Yeah, so I think there's a lady told me the story of this one executive, and she's female executive. Like, if you're a female executive, like you're earning substantially more than a person who works at who's a car salesman. Like one is a car salesman for Mercedes, and the wife is a senior executive at a bank, and they get paid. Do you know how much senior executives get paid? Like, there was a book called Executive Salaries, right, that I read back in 2013. The data is old now. The head of Sanlam, do you know how much he was banking per year in like salaries and compensation and bonuses? Do you know how much he was banking?
Imagine 50
Now
bar.
these guys are eating.
North of that.
190.
These guys are eating.
190. Tsiamo, if I give you 190 million, what are you doing now?
I'm going for therapy.
Yeah, well, tell her. Look, if I give you
Going
100
straight for
Man is
council.
winning the lots every month.
if I give you 100, no, like he's basically winning the lots every month. Like, if I give you 190 million right now, what are you doing?
quitting my job first. We'll start
You
there.
see what I'm saying? Like 190 million rand. So like those guys are earning a lot. So now that's just to just give you, obviously, like not if that's like that was the highest earning of the executives in the data set. But if you're a female executive, you're earning substantially more than someone who is a car salesman. Nothing doesn't say the car salesman's not making money. But here's the relationship that they have, which is very important, which is I think it's very rare nowadays. She is like, because he put her through school, helped get her the certification. He literally helped. And he says, I'm not going to go chase another profession because this is what he loves to do, day in, day out. It's what he loves to do. He's not going to go join Hustlers University, and he's not going to go join Triple M or whatever. He's not going to do that because this is what he loves to do. At home, so she will take the money and say, okay, so this is our pool of money. Head of house being the man, you make the decisions. And that is legit the relationship.
And that's why I say it's case by case.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
That's the story, but it's quite rare. So like you head of house, you make all the financial decisions, right? And it's important because that is the traditional family structure. And I believe in the similar the school of thought. For me, I had a guest on the table, the lady that was on earlier on. I ran a poll for females specifically, right? I ran a poll and I said, for the ladies, please don't lie. Act as if we're in church, don't lie, please. What would you rather be? Would you rather be a hustler, going after the bag, working? Or would you rather be a lol, lady of leisure? Lady of leisure has a man that's assisting to take care of her. She doesn't have to work. She's doing the things like being a florist and making dresses and whatnot and doesn't have to work. 17% lied and said they want to be hustlers. Right? I don't know if they were lying. I'm joking about that. They said, I want to be hustlers. Everyone else was like, no, this whole thing of like hustling, whatnot, I don't want to be in a position where I have to work. A lot of women don't want to be in a position where they have to work. Not to say that they don't want to work, but be in a position where they have to carry the load of the family. I have a friend. She was also on the podcast 3 years ago. Her dad didn't want to work. Not couldn't.
You just don't want to.
Just didn't work.
How
Didn't
did
make
that
it.
work out? How did it work out in his marriage?
They're still married today.
Are they happily married?
No, not happily married. What like you answer your own question.
Because
You won't be happily married with that. Like for me, here's my firm belief. You know, my firm belief is, let's say you are a full-time entrepreneur. Full-time entrepreneur. Your COVID happens. Now you're in the restaurant business. Now it's gone. Right, it's gone. That happened a lot. I think, and now you're earning like significantly less than your spouse, and she still has to work. It is very admirable for you to at least be doing something, to be striving, to be working, to put something on the table, cutting grass, cutting your hair, doing whatever it is that you need to do. Because I believe, I want to get your view on this. If a man cannot work, will he be fulfilled?
Okay, I want to take it a step further. Can I take it a step further?
Go for it.
I think everyone should have a vocation.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree on that.
We can't like being idle, even for a woman. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like raising kids and running the houses. That's a job also, right? That is a job in its own. But you have to have like.
And a note on that: people underestimate what that is a full-time job, like
No,
a home executive.
Listen, if you've ever looked after a child for an entire day, like a very young child,
like
you know, it takes up the entire day.
Stay-at-home mothers
Getting the
have got a
kid
lot of
ready
respect.
in the morning,
Ooh.
getting the kid to eat,
Yeah,
you know, bathing the kid, getting the kid to eat.
Yeah.
You're done now.
Yeah.
You probably have 2 hours before you have to prep for lunch,
yeah.
right? You start prepping for lunch. getting the kid to actually sit down and finish the meal, that's what actually takes time.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you're prepping supper.
Exactly.
You've probably had 2 hours to do other stuff.
Yeah.
3 hours at best.
Sure.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah.
And
it's admirable.
no,
I
and also,
admire them.
sorry, just to bring it back, right? So everyone needs to be stimulated by something that they're working on.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You will feel. Let me not maybe speak with so much certainty on it, but it's suggested that without that, you will lack something.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You will lack something, and it can lead to frustration. You know, yeah. So it's very important that like someone's time is dedicated to doing something, to doing it well, to understanding the greater vision of it. You know, even if someone's like a gardener, to your point, you know, you can either look at it like, oh snap, I'm just whatever, a gardener, but also this perspective, like you adding to the aesthetics of someone's house.
Sure.
Do you see?
Yeah, that's a
If
different perspective. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's also perspective to certain things. If you're a receptionist, you know, you're the face of the people who actually come and interact with whatever enterprise or entity you're working at. Like, but whatever it is, there's a purpose to whatever. Sometimes we can get stuck in, oh crap, I'm like, whatever I'm doing is so meaningless, whatever. But like, there's a purpose to it.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but everyone needs a vocation, and everyone needs to, whether it makes you money, I don't know. Like, we can get to that, but sitting at home and doing nothing,
will kill you.
Is unideal.
Yeah.
You know, even for the individual themselves, like, you know what I'm saying? It's not healthy.
Yeah. And I think,
I agree.
especially in the case of men, I think men need a sense of purpose.
Facts.
I think most of our mental health issues as men come from not having a sense of purpose or feeling as though you failed in your purpose. I mean, there was a brilliant example. I think it was in France. There was an asylum. And so you had, all of these people with, whatever mental health issues that they had. And then the war came around and they used those people as drivers. And all of a sudden, these people were very effective drivers without these mental health issues. Sure. And that's because now they had a true sense of purpose.
Yo, that is a deep story.
That is what we are defined by as men, and that's why provision is such a big thing. And this is why it's become such an issue to define manhood in these times, because, we don't have all the jobs now. So defining yourself as a man, money used to be a big part of that you can provide for your family. And that's why, without the gender roles, it becomes difficult. And that's why you're seeing men are suffering from mental health issues the most in the world. Yes.
It's men.
Men.
I thought it was the opposite.
We kill ourselves
at
a higher rate.
Suicide rates are higher amongst men.
Although women attempt suicide more than men,
we're efficient.
And look, man, a lot of that is linked to people feeling worthless.
Yeah,
and that's because we don't have a sense of purpose. True. And the money chat is especially sensitive, especially in relationships.
Yeah,
I don't think as a man you have to provide a lavish lifestyle, but I do think every man should provide
basics.
Every man should provide. If you're not providing, it means you still need to work.
Talk to him.
Stay at home men.
Make it plain.
Stay at home men. I don't subscribe to that. You would have to be dating somebody who's just an outlier.
Yeah.
Like we said, if you dating a dull mate, but even then you shouldn't be a stay at home dad or stay at home man. Fatherhood is different.
Yeah.
Because parenthood is a full-time job.
Yeah, because what you're saying is that because I know a CEO, female CEO, very effective at what she does. I should get her on the show.
Yeah.
Her husband is a stay at home. Yeah, because she is more the ambitious, driven person. You get outliers like that.
Yeah.
To that, it doesn't mean that this guy's doing nothing, sitting and watching
What's he
the
doing?
NBA finals and Jimmy Butler busy trying
Got time to wake up at 3 a.m.
He's sitting doing
Wire.
He's actually no, like running reruns of Bold and the Is Bold and the Beautiful still on? I'm showing my age.
Yes.
No, but that's that's a classic. We have to give The Bold and the Beautiful some
Yeah,
respect.
like remember, like at home you used to stay and be bored and watch reruns of like soapies.
From days of our lives all the way to generations.
Is it me?
I know at 7 the news are coming in.
But guys, there's English news, then the Zulu news, and then generations, and then the other shows that come on.
But tell me, guys, Bold and the Beautiful was quite explicit. Let's be honest. Like when we were young, it was like, "Guy, man, Buffet, so this is X-rated."
Man, the shows now are explicit.
Go to Brooks' bedroom.
She was the original bad bad, right?
Nah, she's the poster boy for
Bad
you know
boys.
the Towards Life movement that we have now.
like Ubashate Bonke, like Bonke, like all of them.
She went
From
through the
father to
family.
son.
What a rich, what a
Forrester,
Thorn,
Rich.
what a Eric, what a back to rich, what a richest brother, Ebo Massimo. Look, she went through everything.
She was moving. She was moving. And look, you know, if you go onto Twitter today, you'll see that she is a cult hero.
Which is why I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter.
No, don't. Let me tell you, it's terrible. I spend a lot of time on there.
Why? For what?
Man, it's a great pastime. Look, it is the greatest communication tool that we have in this time.
What are we communicating?
I mean, it depends. You know, the nicest thing about Twitter as a social media platform,
Yeah.
right? Which we didn't have before. You know, Facebook, you had your friends there, right? On Twitter, right, you could tailor your entire timeline to whatever you want.
Sure.
So if you wanted to be a mathematician,
Yeah.
you could only follow mathematicians, and that's what your timeline would be.
Is that still the same today?
Now the algorithms has changed, but you can still, you still tailor your following.
You do.
Yeah.
What you see really is an amalgamation of the things you're interested in,
Oh, okay.
which you tweet,
It's a big word.
you follow.
Huh?
It's a big word.
It's a big amalgamation. You could have just said coming together.
How many syllables is that?
Amalgamation.
Guys, you guys didn't watch that video, that rugby video.
What rugby video?
Amalgamate. Yeah. So look, but Twitter is a crazy space, though.
Yeah, do you know what
It's
Dave
a
Chappelle said about
Can I
Twitter?
share what I shared with you over the phone this week?
I do not recall.
The tweet that caught a lot of traffic.
Oh yeah, no, of course, man. I don't mind.
Bro, this guy shared a tweet. So some lady tweeted a video of her going through like lessons of speaking Zulu.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And
White lady, black lady?
black lady.
Black lady teaching.
And the daughter was young. The daughter was young, bro. And I think
that young.
I think
She was old,
She
man.
could have been
She
like
was in
7.
school.
Yeah, 7,
No,
8,
that
9,
one
10.
is like 9-10, bro.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
a
7, 8,
big
9,
gap.
10. Whatever age it is, right? So this guy tweets and he's like, "Yo, something along the lines of," I'm paraphrasing now. You know, it's a bit embarrassing that
Disgraceful.
You know, it's disgraceful. You know, but you didn't say disgraceful, but
No,
I forgot. I can't quote it for you, but he was something along the lines of, "Hey, but it's a bit disgraceful that you know, we're raising children who can't speak Vernac." But that tweet caught traffic. I even just called him because I saw something like, "Oh my, 700 likes." I don't know how many retweets. And the responses were so interesting. Like people will come, but he was standing his ground, like just giving his firm responses about certain things. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I saw that on Twitter. I'm like, I know city game, it's
No, but you see, it's you know, it also speaks to the greater thing we've been speaking about. Just there's an erosion of culture, you know, and you know we wondering why families aren't holding men responsible anymore, because we're losing our culture.
Yeah.
You know, and you look at this, for instance, this pandemic of fatherlessness. It's not present in any other community. It's not as prevalent in the Indian community. It's not as prevalent in the white community. It's the black community that's suffering from this.
You know what? He said it. I don't want to say it.
We got to keep it a bug. All of us must know one person in this room. All of us know one person who's not looking after their kid.
Yeah, true.
Or like, as in like our peers.
Yeah.
there's peers, there's
And it's
family.
not hard to think about. You can
It's
think about
not.
it, but
It's not.
You're right,
It's
you're
not.
right.
I didn't have to be like, hey,
the
I
one
was
girl
like,
who's complaining that, hey, my kid's
no,
father.
I'm Maz.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's we all know them.
That's deep, Pubs. That's deep.
We all
I actually
know
didn't even. Yeah, I didn't even know it was that
that's
far.
very true. That is
You
very
know-
true.
I actually
Even
do.
when you go to like a lot of these sports games, like for kids,
Yeah.
what you'll notice is that you'll see a lot of white fathers there,
Yeah, yeah.
and you'll see a lot of black mothers. If there are parents watching the black kids, it's likely to be the
why are
kid's
you
mother.
coming for us? Why is
No, we just got to keep it a buck.
And I want to say this, right?
Yeah.
I want to say this. Like the school I went to, no? If your household was not like correct,
Yeah.
you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb.
Little jumpies,
Little champies are fast. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what we had there, bro, like
Oh,
that's already when you're starting to realize. I promise you, like it doesn't register maybe like grade 8, 9, but like how people are speaking about their families,
It's messed up.
more so
The
their dads. Like I was just like, no ways, bro.
Yeah.
Like so that thing, like, bro, that thing could leave you with some sort of crisis, like from an
Exactly.
identity perspective.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Because obviously,
When I grew up, I had my dad. When I grew up, I had my dad. When I grew up, I had my dad. When I grew up, I had my dad.
Guys, we'd be playing in Durban, their dads would be in Durban. You understand? Wherever they are playing, their dads are there. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? That's fatherhood isn't going to watch sports, but that just shows you just the
Being
level of
present.
support,
Support,
that they
yeah.
have for whatever their child is involved in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like Kobe Bryant wouldn't be Kobe Bryant without his dad. You know,
Of course.
Yeah, because I think you heard the interview.
Yeah,
where-
Bean. I
Which
mean,
one?
he was.
Yeah,
Which
like,
one?
No, the interview like with Kobe, where I think he was 12. He was playing a basketball
he
game.
lost and
he
he was
didn't.
shit.
He didn't score a single
he was
point.
shit.
He didn't score a single point. And his dad said, "When he scores 0-60, we're still going to love you no matter what."
yo,
So I think that is so important because behind every successful boy, well, not every. In fact, I'm gonna go out and say every successful boy, there is a father or a father figure that believed in him, whether it's in a coach or whatever it is. There's some father figure that was there that believed in that boy.
Bro, yeah,
There's
and-
an interesting joke that says if you want a successful kid, then you've heard of like the LeBron project.
Yeah.
So it says that he's got to overcome hardship. So you got to get a girl pregnant,
And then leave.
leave, come back after 19 years.
that's a
Why is
terrible
being
joke.
drafted in the NBA? That's wrong. That's completely wrong.
That's terrible.
That is
That's
terrible.
the LeBron project.
That's
Then he's got to go out there, overcome all of these adversities, and then you come in. It's funny. Last minute.
It's funny because I'm a fan of dark humor,
yeah.
but it's a terrible joke.
You know, dude, like my favorite dark comedian, okay, is Jimmy Carr. You know Jimmy Carr?
Nah.
Don't you know Jimmy who? Jimmy Carr.
CARR.
Yeah, CARR. Jimmy Carr.
Why does that name sound familiar? Yeah.
Kilingamla.
He's a white guy.
Yeah, he's a white guy.
Yeah, he's
That
a
guy
British
sounds
comedian.
familiar. Oh, the British.
The
no,
British
man.
comedian.
No, it can't be. The guy who shat on everybody at the...
No, that's Ricky.
that's
Ricky
Ricky
Gervais.
Yeah.
That's Ricky Gervais. You know nothing about the real world, so don't use this as a political platform to give a little political
He's
speech.
a top dog. He's a legend. You have to give him his respect.
But look about Jimmy Carr. He's like he's really
Dark humor.
Like really dark humor, like dark humor, like dark. That was a really dark joke. But the reason it was so dark is because it's rooted in truth.
Yeah, because... And you know what it speaks to? How many black kids are growing up without their fathers? You know, like, I look back at, for instance, all the friends that I have in high school.
Sure.
Right. A great number of us grew up without our fathers in our household. You know, so and that quickly makes you start learning manhood from your friends. You know, I mean, your mother could do the best job that she can,
But she'll never be a
but
man.
she's not going to be your role model.
Yeah, she could. No,
You know, because she's a woman.
yeah, she's a woman.
So the people you start looking up to is, you know, your older cousin. And so now your role model is some 16-year-old guy who's figuring things out for himself.
And he doesn't know what he's
And
doing.
that's how we perpetuate.
And he
this
might not
whole-
even have a pops.
Yeah.
Bring us back to that initial.
And that's how we
lost.
perpetuate, for instance, guys cheating and wanting multiple women. If your role model is a 17-year-old, that guy's not faithful.
He's not. He doesn't even know who he is.
And that gets, imprinted in your mind at a young age, and you grow up thinking this
And now
is
you're
the way to do
35 and
things.
thinking this is what you need to do.
You don't even realize that you learned that from a 17-year-old.
So now you need to unlearn all of that BS. Even though, like I said, we were talking about, even though inherently you know it's wrong. Like,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
everyone
no, of
inherently
course.
knows what's right and wrong, but consciously you may not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do something enough times, it doesn't seem as bad.
Yeah.
You could really, really suppress your
Conscience.
conscience
Yeah.
so easily. You do something once, you feel bad, you do it again, you don't feel as bad as you did the first time
time.
around.
Or harden your heart.
Hard in your
But anyway,
heart.
that's a story for another day.
Yes, hard in your heart. Yes.
That's a hidden gem.
Yeah, exactly. God gave them over
No,
to
and-
their own passions.
Uh,
Book of
but,
Romans.
I wanna
You
say
should
that.
read the book
No,
of Romans. You'll understand how bad human behavior can be.
Yeah, it's a thesis. But anyway, and the crazy thing is, and look, bro, like I'm shout out if you had that experience. That's phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it was even clear to see. I don't know. I can kind of see it sometimes, like the people I knew in school, varsity. I don't know if I can count some because I don't know. Varsity, you're quite away from your parents, right? But you can kind of spot the people who actually like amongst the brothers.
Yeah.
You can spot the guys who actually grew up with their mom and dad who have like a functioning household. You can actually just easily see it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't explain it.
There's a sense of groundness.
Bafalete, man. They you know what I'm saying? Bafalete. And like not only that, one common trend I noticed. But it's all good. One thing I noticed is that these guys would like a portion of them.
Yeah.
I don't know how big that portion is. I'll confirm later. But anyway, would actually find themselves in like relationships. And you could see it. Like you could see that, like do we say idealization? I don't know. Flip, I'm trying around with these words. I try myself.
Yeah, try yourself. Challenge yourself. It's
You know what I'm saying?
It's good.
I hope that's the right word.
What idolization?
Nah. Configuration.
Configuration.
I'm trying. Those
Config.
I know it ends with TION.
ION. Something there. Yeah.
But like the configuration was like around like they'd have a girlfriend, they'd date her for like 2 years, they'd break up. Cool. They'd have another girlfriend.
Like DJ Khaled.
Normal. You know what I'm saying? Whereas other dudes, it's like there wasn't even a thought of like necessarily like dating hands like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it a $150 right now. People are looking to get action. People were looking to get action.
Yep. I was in the streets. I know how it was.
People were looking to get action.
Yeah.
Nothing meaningful, nothing fulfilling from an emotional perspective.
Sure.
Just getting action. And the more action you got, the cooler you were.
I mean, the first relationship I was in, like serious relationship, I was forced into it.
Huh?
Who forced? How do you get forced into?
So she actually was like, "Yo,"
You know what I am.
and that was the first serious relationship I was in. I never would have
Gotten into it. Yeah.
if she didn't force me.
Yeah.
And so I went through my teens with that kind of mentality that he just described. That, hey, man.
So you're Pep Guardiola's Barcelona tiki-taka football, man.
Nah, but I wasn't playing them. They
Get the ball
knew what they
possible,
were
get the
signing
ball.
up for.
Get the ball possible.
Nah, they knew what they were signing up for.
Oh, did they? Are you sure they knew?
Nah, they did. They did.
Now he's a very upfront guy. We've spoken about our.
Oh,
by
so-
the way, we we know each other for a while. We're very good friends, right?
Okay, sure.
My man phrased that a lot. He was just like, we were.
No. I was about to say.
Let me just
Confirm.
I was about to say we've been housemates.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, he's a very upfront guy. Like, we've had conversations, you know, about like, hey, this is my angle, this is your angle.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's like a slow Mac.
A slow Mac.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like he will want to, you know, chat the girl up for a few days, take out on a couple of dates, certain meetings, you know.
Pep Guardiola is for Barcelona. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you see, I prefer, you know.
He's also Mourinho's Real Madrid.
But this guy's like 3 passes using the 18 yard.
Baby in the 18 area. Oh, no.
Look, also it's because like I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't pursue a woman who's not interested in me.
Sure.
You know, like he's like a salesman. So he, you know.
I don't like that.
So for me, if that interest isn't reciprocated at the gate,
Yeah.
like I'm good. I'm not going to work for it. You know, I would rather just, you know, move on to the next one. Whereas with him, he likes that. You know, he's
That's
gonna,
it.
you know, a salesman. He's
He's a salesman.
yeah, he was in sales, man, and he was good at it. So that's his thing. I'm not selling.
Is it?
You know?
You like you being everyone's selling to some. It's just your
No,
approach to selling.
of course, but you know, I'm not convincing.
Oh, you're not convincing.
I'm not about to convince a woman. You know,
It's either you love me.
you leave me.
but fortunately, now I do have a woman I'm committed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, just needed to put that out there.
Yeah. Gotta put it out there. Yeah.
So do I.
The only one. So I wanna go to a part where so for guys, we love our sports.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've only met you today. So do you love sports?
I enjoy sports.
Okay, you love your sports.
Absolutely. I think it's a red flag
If he doesn't
a
like
man
sports.
has never played a sport and doesn't like watching sport.
Yeah.
I think you got to be careful.
Yeah. The sport I played was tennis.
Oh no, you know what I didn't realize until I played tennis.
What?
The amount of fitness required for
It's the sky.
you know, watching tennis, dude, like I tried out for tennis at school. Listen.
How did that go?
Hey. I didn't realize.
Okay, I'm like, I thought
You know how fit tennis. I mean, you guys are fit, man.
tennis players. I haven't played tennis in over 50 years,
Yeah.
but like, still, I know. Yo, I
was like, how hard
you ran,
could it
you're
be?
there,
Just boom.
you're there.
Yeah.
Yo,
And the concentration.
yeah, you
Yeah,
need to
and
concentrate.
it's a
Like,
highly
it's a-
technical sport
Yeah,
as well.
very technical. Yeah. So, all right. So, I want you to pick your favorite sports. A favorite sport. And then I want you to give me your top 5 greatest of all time in that sport. So, which sport are you going to go with?
Okay. I mean, I'll choose football. I'll choose
Okay, stop
soccer,
there.
of course.
You'll choose football. Which sport will you go for?
I'm gonna go soccer, football,
You're going to go for football.
soccer. Just in case you have an American audience, I'll say.
I don't care. I don't care.
They need to learn.
I don't care.
They need to
I
learn.
don't care. Taekwondo. It is football. It is football. Football. I call it football. I fight with Americans all the time. It's soccer. No.
Soccer.
No, it's not soccer. No, it's not
Football's
soccer.
a game you play with your feet.
Hence the term
You know?
football.
Exactly. They should call their sport handball or something. Like these men.
Like
And now I'm just LeBron would be so good because he's so big. Imagine him running on a football pitch, fam.
Man, that guy flops in a basketball game.
Don't
and
do
just keeps
that.
fighting.
Don't do that. Don't do that to my goat. Don't do that to my goat. Which sport are you gonna go for?
I'm gonna go cricket, fam. That's my favorite sport, easily.
You're gonna go for cricket.
Not MMA, bro.
Nah, cricket's my
Your nickname is literally MMA Blues.
That's cute.
That's what he's known as in the streets.
So, given the context that you have to talk about your top 5 greatest players,
You see, the thing is, you guys won't be able to relate.
Exactly. Go
That's
top
the
5
problem.
fighters.
So fine, I'll go to MMA.
you're gonna go for
I'm
MMA.
gonna go for MMA.
All right, so you're gonna go for football. You're gonna go for football.
Yeah. What are you gonna go for?
Tennis,
Yeah.
of course.
Tennis is very easy. Like for me, that's very easy. He's gonna disagree with my top 5.
Or are you gonna say joke over Fed?
Fed is not even in my top 5.
Federer.
Fed is not even in my
What guy said?
top 5.
Nah, that's impossible.
He's not even in my top 5.
That's impossible.
Listen, this podcast will get cancelled.
He's not even in my top.
Do you have Sampras over Fed?
You cannot have Sampras over Fed.
You can't.
Sampras is not even in my top 10.
Okay.
Who's the top 5?
Is this top 5 of yours like mixed gender?
Yeah, no, but it's fine. It's fine if it is. It's fine if it is. I can accept.
Is it?
No,
Mixed
so
gender?
no, it's. I'm gonna go for like because with the females, I'm not too particularly.
Oh, you don't know? Yeah.
Game.
Okay.
The female game, I know. Like okay, so I'll start with my goat list. Okay, so I'm gonna go with my goat list, then I'm going with the goat list. Those are two different lists.
Okay, I'm glad you understand.
My goat list is very subjective, based on emotion.
Okay.
Right? The goat list is objective.
Okay.
Stats, numbers. Okay.
So these are your 5 favorite, basically.
Yeah, basically my goat list, my favorite. Rafa Nadal number 1.
Oh, God.
I love Nadal to death. Nadal.
He's not the goat, but he's.
I said
he's in the. He is the goat.
That's what Cross told me. I thought I was saying this is my goat list. I thought this was my goat list.
But anyway, let's go.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah,
Let's allow you. Let's allow you.
Don't be disrespectful.
Apologies.
So don't do that, Skip. Don't skip. So my goat list, and I've said this on another podcast episode, is Rafa Nadal for me, number 1, and number 2, Roger Federer. Okay, I'm talking about my goat list, my favorites. 3rd, Super Novak Djokovic. Okay,
Cool.
and then 4th, I'm going to put Nick Kyrgios. No, I'm joking. Not I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm going to put Rod Laver. I'm going to put Rod, even though
Brock
I didn't.
Lesnar.
Rod Laver.
Yeah, got
Rod
that.
Laver. Not Brock Lesnar. Rod Laver. And then 5th, Sampras fans will hate me, but I'm not going to put him there. I'm talking about, this is my goat list.
I can see.
Yeah, I thought this was my goat list.
Yeah.
My goat list. And then Bjorn Borg. Andre Agassi is outside of there. Then you can toss up between Andre Agassi. I'm talking about
Notable mention.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah,
yes.
honorable
So
mention.
now let's talk about the objective GOAT list. Right, based on numbers, facts, data. Djokovic number 1,
Shit.
unfortunately. Nadal number 2. Nadal's better than Federer. The end. The end. No, that's not even a debate for me. Like it's not even objective. Like head-to-head record. Come on. Okay. Right. Then 3rd, I'll put Federer. 4th, I'll put Sampras, and then 5th, I will put Rod Laver. From a tennis perspective. Cool. Reason why I say Djokovic is I'm looking at it from statistically.
Yeah.
Right. He's got more big titles than the other big 3. He's tied with the most Grand Slams with Nadal. He beats them head to head, and he's beaten all of them on their favorite surface when it matters.
A good shout.
He's won. Do you know the Masters 1000? He's won that. He's the only person to win each and every single one of them twice. So, and then if he wins Roland Garros, he'll be the first and only man to win every single Grand Slam minimum 3 times. I can't fight greatness like that.
We're talking about Djokovic.
Yeah.
You know what the
Djok.
funny thing is about Djokovic?
Yeah?
He did start out from behind
Yeah, he
to
did.
these guys,
He did.
which was crazy.
Which is crazy. Yeah. So that's from tennis.
Isn't he the youngest of the 3?
And he's younger than everyone else. Yeah. So he's the youngest. Right. So that's tennis. Right. So you want to go football? Yeah, sure. Step out.
I'll be Bizak.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Yes.
Right, football. The list is quite simple for me. Greatest player of all time, Lionel Messi.
What? And this is the reaction of Ronaldo fans. What?
And people can say whatever they want to say.
What about Pele? Huh? What about Maradona?
You see, it's tough to. First of all,
Not against farmers.
Don't do that.
But
Don't do that.
look, there's criticism against Pele for that. And it's also difficult to rate people that I never really watched week in, week out.
Sure.
But Messi's the best guy at kicking a ball.
That you've ever seen.
He does it better than anybody.
Facts.
He's doing it. You know what the thing is? He's doing it in the most competitive era of football. You know, this era has so much more technology. There's so much more in terms of tactically fitness than there was when Maradona was playing.
Yeah.
You know, Maradona was shot up on coke half the time.
Don't do that.
His career wouldn't
Don't
be
do that.
banging as
Don't
much
do
in
that.
this era. I can tell you
Those
that.
are his views, not mine.
So now Messi's the best, man.
Lionel Messi,
Messi's
number
the
one.
best. He already, look, to be honest, all he needed was the World Cup, right? But he'd already proven he was better than Maradona by around 2012.
Facts only. You know what? You know the funny stories behind these trophies are. The moment he won that World Cup, I was like, I'm buying these things.
Yeah, because listen, he's got to get this next Ballon d'Or as well. The
Yeah,
culture
Haaland
needs
will get it.
And now he's going to have 8 Ballon d'Ors. It doesn't matter what happens. No one's getting to 8.
Haaland is going to win it if he wins
Haaland's
the
not
trophy.
winning it, but this is a Ballon d'Or worthy season from Haaland. In any other year, he would get it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just that, you know, it was a World Cup. Well, it's not the World Cup year, but this is the World Cup Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
You know, so it's, you know, it's a little different.
Yeah, it is a little.
So we saw Cannavaro take it from Ronaldinho.
Cannavaro.
These things happen in a World Cup year. And then I'll say...
Luka Modric. Look at that. Like, that was a robbery there. But anyway, I'm sorry, Luka. I love you, but I don't think you deserve
you know,
that.
and then I've got to add a little, you know, a few historical characters.
Yeah.
You know, guys that I didn't watch. And so I'll have Pele at 2, Maradona at 3.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll have Cristiano Ronaldo at 4, actually.
Yo, the disrespect on Ronaldo's bad here.
He's a light boy.
What?
Look, you know what it is? I'm not sure if Ronaldo is actually the best guy at kicking a ball in the world at any time outside of maybe 2008. You know, Maradona was universally known, and I'm not talking because he won. I'm not
guy's
talking
hard,
accolades.
This
I'm
guy's
not talking
hard.
accolades. I'm talking.
He's got 5 Ballon d'Ors, guy. What are you?
Nah. Let me tell you what I'm saying. Let me tell you what I'm saying.
CR7, I'm a big fan.
Let me tell you what I'm saying. I'm saying to you,
I love
every single
CR7.
footballer,
Yeah?
right, in Maradona's time, if they go out and go play 5-a-side
Yeah?
against Maradona, he's a better footballer than them. Now, Ronaldo did it in the big moments. I have to give him respect for that. But did everybody really think, hey, this guy could outball me? He was a big goal scorer.
Yeah,
He's not the greatest dribbler. He's the greatest finisher.
Yeah?
Greatest finisher is not necessarily the greatest player.
Haaland just entered the chat.
Yeah, Haaland is phenomenal.
Yeah?
Right. Haaland is phenomenal, but the greatest finisher is not necessarily the greatest player.
True.
And I'll give you examples, right? You look at Inter, the side that won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Diego Milito was the best finisher in Europe at that time.
Yeah, but he wasn't the best player.
Nobody thought he was as good as Schneider. Nobody thought he was as good as Messi. Nobody thought he was as good as Xavi and Iniesta.
Sure.
But he was doing his thing as a
That's
finisher.
only, yeah.
So you got to look at how much football a person is generating in addition to the goals that they're scoring. Ronaldo at his peak wasn't, and it's so interesting with Ronaldo because he had a period before, like at United and his first couple of years at Madrid, where he was really contributing to the way the team plays.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and then he has his second period in Madrid, which is the most successful that Madrid has. He's not contributing to the build-up play.
No, he's not.
He's not.
So your number
How
one
we
was
gonna-
Messi.
Hey,
Your number one was Messi.
of course. Number 2, Pele. Number 3, Maradona.
Glad you
And number 4, Ronaldo. The disrespect on Ronaldo.
No, I think it's respectable. I think it's respectable. You know,
Oh, I know why. How many World Cups does Ronaldo have?
0.
Oh, okay.
No, but I don't think.
I don't think it has anything to do with
Look, Ronaldo was massive, man.
Yeah.
But we also have to just consider the fact that he left Madrid and they still went on to win the Champions League and a league. That's not to say he wasn't a baller when he was there, right? He was a baller.
But they still went on to become
You know,
successful.
and that's because he wasn't contributing as much in
I
a
see.
football perspective.
So who's
So
number
Pele
5?
above Maradona.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. This.
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
Although Maradona did play in Europe, Pele didn't.
Yeah.
Um,
But I think.
Maradona's career is how many seasons, bro?
Yeah, I think the highest peak any player ever had was Maradona at that World Cup he won.
You know what? I think Messi's World Cup was better, but what I will say is that Maradona was so undisputed that he was the best player in the world.
At that time.
Yeah, like
it wasn't.
you listen to top players describe what it was like watching him in training or playing football with him or against him. It was crazy. I've only ever heard that kind of talk about Ronaldo, not Cristiano.
Brazilian Ronaldo.
Yeah, like I mean,
Oh,
even
oh,
Zidane
phenomenal.
speaking about he realized that this is the best player in the world when he came to Madrid and he was training with him and he was like, dog, the things this guy would do in training, he's just on a different level.
So who's your number 5?
My number 5, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. And I'm not going to go historical on this one. I'm going to go players that I've actually watched. No, actually, I'll go historical. I'll go Johan Cruyff.
Johan Cruyff.
I'll go Cruyff at number 5.
Better than Michel Platini. Better than Franz Beckenbauer.
You have to remember that this guy personified an entire style of play.
Yeah, that's true.
That style of play gave birth to the style of play that Barca plays.
It's called total football, yeah?
So Cruyff is the player that personified that. He was the total footballer. That style of play gave birth to everything they're doing in La Masia today. The style of play that Pep perfected.
Yeah.
As people speak, that guy personified it. So his impact in football as a footballer
and matched
is massive.
Yeah.
You build styles of play around a guy.
He even has the Cruyff turn.
Exactly. I mean, he's got to move. So I'll go Cruyff at 5.
So Lionel Messi number 1, Pele number 2, Maradona 3, Cristiano Ronaldo being disrespected at the 4, and then Cruyff at 5. That is a respectable list. I think that's a respectable list.
Yeah.
Tsiamo, you chose football, yeah?
Yeah.
So who's your top 5?
Number 1 is Messi.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's MVP. That's why he's the GOAT. The GOAT.
No, number 1 is Messi.
Yeah.
And I come from I was a guy who didn't rate Messi. Not didn't rate Messi. I just was a Ronaldo fan.
Oh, okay.
Man United fan, and who's this guy trying to steal my boy's shine?
Yeah.
You know? My number 2 is Maradona.
Okay.
My number 2 is Maradona. I'm judging from a football purist perspective.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? My number 2 is Maradona. And so not necessarily maybe accolades or whatever. Number 3 is Ronaldo.
Which Ronaldo?
Sorry, R9.
R9.
To be exact.
The disrespect on CR7 is massive in this room,
To be exact.
Huh?
The real Ronaldo.
Yeah, R9.
Don't do that.
Yeah, the real Ronaldo.
Don't do that, Skip. Don't do that.
Scale.
The scale. Yeah, R9,
Right.
yeah.
Number 4 is CR7.
Okay. This is a very respectable list.
And then number 5. Thing is, I don't know how to place Bailey, honestly speaking. I don't know how to place Bailey, and I'm gonna take a very grand stance and say number 5 Zidane.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a very
Yes.
grand stance and say
Well, you know
number
what?
5 Zidane.
Zizou's a phenomenal player.
This guy just said he's top 5. Name your top 5. Name his top 5. How disrespectful this list is. Listen to this list.
Messi,
Fine.
Maradona,
Okay.
right? R9,
Okay.
the phenomenon Ronaldo. That's number 3. Number 4 is CR7. Number 5 is Zidane.
It's not a bad list, actually.
There's no pillar on that list. That's my bone.
Yeah, you see, it's a little disrespectful. I think
It's
in a
very
historical context.
It's very from that perspective. I think it's very
And of course
disrespectful.
the criticism is that he was playing against farmers, guys in the army, etc. But look, he was the best player in a star-studded Brazil team.
You see what I'm saying? Jairzinho, Garrincha.
You know, Bocarinha. You know how hard it is to be a better player than those guys. Sure.
Yeah, and they won 3 World Cups. I
In
know
an
that story.
undisputed manner, it's like non-debatable that he's better. So that for me, for me speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it is for me, and that's what I'm saying. It's very hard to place Pele, because if I place Pele, I'm placing him more on literature
Yeah, because you didn't watch him
and
play.
historic
That's a fair
documentation.
comment. That's a very fair comment.
You know, and
But
I don't
what
know
about
how good
Maradona?
this guy was. Maradona, I didn't watch, right?
But you placing him on the same.
But there's
the same principle.
No. I get what you're saying, but there's still how do I say this? His there's still a fresher fragrance that still remains about his story.
That is very true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is.
And there's certain things look, I'm not saying like I'm a scout or whatever, but I do believe that I can see, once I see a player and I say this guy's good,
Yeah.
I know this guy's good. Do you know what I'm saying?
He has a talent for looking at talent.
And like the certain things I saw Maradona do,
Yeah.
even if it was tape, right?
Yeah.
Let's not speak to what he did at Napoli. Napoli was like actually nowhere. He got Napoli into top flight football.
No, he did some work at Napoli. He did some work at Napoli. But, again, the one thing about Maradona's criticism is longevity, man. That guy was... How many world-class seasons would you say Maradona has in his career?
I don't know to say, right? And we're talking about accolades also, right? And
not even accolades. You don't have to win anything. Just how many seasons were you really out there delivering as a baller? I think that's important. The reason guys like Ronaldo, for instance, Cristiano, is always going to make that list is just the level of consistency.
Yeah.
This guy's been the best player in that conversation from
since
2007 to like 2020, 2021. He was there every single year.
It ended
wasn't
officially in 2022.
Yeah.
I think that's why guys like Ronaldinho wouldn't make that list.
No, they wouldn't make that.
And hence I say, guys, I'm looking at it from a football purist perspective.
Then why is Dino not there?
No, Dino is
Football purism.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You're actually very right. The reason why Dino is not there, and the reason why, because honestly speaking, it was between Zidane, right? Dino was kind of in that conversation Dino was kind of in that
Chat.
in that shortlist. Another person who was in that shortlist was Alfredo Di Stefano. Obviously Cruyff, and probably lastly, this is a player that's actually to my heart. And I don't know why people always disrespect this guy, but Van Basten.
Marco van Basten.
He has a similar story to R9. It's the injuries.
He stopped at 28.
Yeah, I mean it's a terrible time.
Yeah.
But it's tough to come up with a top 5 across eras.
Yeah, it is. It is tough.
It's better with players that you watched.
Yeah, but I think in football, if your number one player is not Lionel Messi, you're wrong.
Of course, come
on.
I think you're
what
wrong.
are we doing?
It's quite interesting. Older people will put Maradona or Pele, depending. There's definitely a bias around the time that you watch them. You speak to a 78-year-old, Pele is the best footballer of all time. You speak to a 40-year-old, it's got to be Maradona.
Speak to us, we say
it's going to be Messi for the next 50 years.
100 years. So we're going to go over to Lukho, and then we'll close out by you asking me questions. Yeah.
MMA, GOAT is Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson. Easy.
What?
Demetrius Johnson.
That list is immediately wrong. There's no John Jones.
John Jones is number 2.
Okay, I need explanation for this.
John Jones is number 2. Demetrius Johnson, he just goated, man. The amount of titles he defended. He was ridiculous.
And from a skill set perspective, I think
exactly.
Demetrius Johnson could do things that other fighters can't. I mean, listen, that armbar, that flying armbar.
It was ridiculous.
There's nobody in the UFC who will ever, or in any MMA competition, who's ever going to replicate that.
I'll send you that.
He lifts a guy in the air while the guy's coming down. So it's like he's about to give him a German suplex.
Yeah.
As he's coming down, he grabs his arm. When he lands, he's in an armbar. Boom.
Wait, German suplex, so he's got him from the back.
Yeah,
he lifts him, but he doesn't throw him back. So while the guy's in the air, he's going for his arm. He puts him in an armbar when that guy. So the armbar's where,
like a crossface.
No, not a crossface.
an armbar.
Crossface,
His
but you
arm
line
are
up.
between his legs. So his one arm is between his legs.
That's some crazy stuff.
It's ridiculous.
You get what I'm saying?
It's ridiculous.
And he puts him in an armbar, flying armbar.
So you mean the one where they're grabbing this guy's arm and the legs are like across you? You know, I've never understood how that move can actually hurt you.
Break your arm.
Can break your arm, pop it out of the shoulder.
Look, you do MMA, just.
But anyway, sorry.
It'll break your arm. Then there's John Jones, number 2.
Absolutely.
Joe Rogan would disagree with you.
I'm going to put Khabib there.
Khabib over
Be
Conor
over
McGregor.
GSP.
Connor's not going to make the top 5.
I think
What?
No,
Connor's not even top 10.
Bro,
bro.
Connor's not gonna make my
That guy
top
gets
5.
banged.
Khabib was just dominant, man. Yeah, but Connor gets banged, fam.
It's like, talk now. Let's talk now.
Talk now.
Let's talk now.
Let's talk now.
Yes.
That
He was smashing.
That was the most savage behavior I've ever seen.
Man, he smashed him.
I
Man.
fucked him up, man.
No, but you got GSP. I mean, you've got Khabib over GSP. Look, it is the level of dominance.
Yeah, that's my point. Is that the level of dominance that he had? He arguably lost only one round.
Mm-hmm.
This man has never lost in MMA fights.
And that round is debatable. You know,
And
the
it's
round against
debatable, exactly.
Gaethje, the round against
Like, I mean-
Conor, those are debatable rounds.
I mean, for you to go to that level in terms of dominance in MMA, it's hard. For GSP, 5, I'm gonna put Anderson Silva.
Listen, I love that list.
That's a good list.
I love that list.
The only
I thought
problem is-
Anderson Silva was going to be a bit higher.
No, he took too many L's.
But he had beautiful KOs.
He's got probably the best run I've seen in terms of entertainment value, and he looked like during his run, he looked invincible. He would be clowning guys mid-fight and knocking them out. Anderson Silva is probably the most entertaining champion of all time.
Do you think Adesanya could creep into that top 5?
He could. And let me tell you why. Because Adesanya is already en route to become the best middleweight of all time. You know, depending... I think the issue with Adesanya is that there's not enough competition. He's cleaned out the division. Who's he going to fight now? He needs to go back to light heavyweight and go mash up Pereira if he wins that championship.
Facts. I agree with
But I think Pereira would smash him at that weight.
At that weight, yeah. I think it would.
All right, that's a very, very solid list. So, wholesale, one sport that we need to cover is basketball, and I really irritated this guy. I irritated this guy. You know what I said on a status?
See, LeBron is the best.
Because you know what I'm really good at doing? I'm really good at saying things that irritate people. I put a status and I said, like people will fetch me for this. I said, if LeBron James won this 5th ring, I have a new GOAT. Knowing full well what I was doing. Can this guy not climb it? Can like 50 people not climb onto me?
Look, I don't like LeBron.
Why?
But I will say this. If LeBron got this 5th chip, he would have to be the GOAT.
No.
That's what I said.
Non-debatable.
He would have to be the
Why?
GOAT. Look at what he's doing. Look, we're going to look at longevity. We're going to look at this guy is late 30s now.
He's turning 39 this year.
Kareem did the same thing. He was finals MVP at
Kareem.
38.
Hey, yeah, that's Kareem. Jordan didn't. The actual GOAT didn't. He was playing for the Washington
I think that's
Wizards.
the argument
for thinking it out.
But for the past 5-6 years, these guys have been getting loan managed, fam. How many seasons did Jordan miss in an 82-game season?
Bruv, that man took a break and went to go play baseball.
Okay,
That was his rest.
My man them had 3-peats, left, came back and had another 3-peat.
No, you see,
LeBron couldn't 3-peat
they lost
with
the chip.
Dwayne
No.
Wade.
In the year that
He
Jordan
lost to
comes
Dirk, fam.
in the year
He lost to Dirk.
in the year that Jordan comes back, they actually don't win the championship. People like to forget that season. They come back, they get smashed up. They win a 3-peat after that.
Still 3-peat.
But you got to look at it this way, dog.
He's
What
still
we're talking about is a guy who's gonna have the most points of all, already has the most points of all time in the NBA.
Top 5
He's
in
gonna be in the
assists.
top 5 assists.
Let me ask a question very quickly.
Yeah.
Do you think that LeBron has a higher basketball IQ than Jordan?
Yes.
I want to say yes. Here's what I'll say about that.
I'll say yes. I'll tell you why.
LeBron being a good passer, especially in clutch moments earlier in his career, wasn't because he had a high IQ. It was because he was scared of taking the shot.
Is it?
Absolutely. There's an all-star game where he's scared to play an ISO. I think it's against
Kobe.
Yeah. And people are like, come on. LeBron never had the mentality earlier in his career.
I think there's a difference between killer mentality and basketball IQ.
There isn't a difference.
No, there is, bro. Killer instinct and IQ.
I think there's a big difference.
There's a
I think there's
Listen, guys, it's a 5-man sport.
Yeah.
Trust me, the best player on that team is the one who should take the most responsibility for him. He is the one who contributes the most to it.
Yeah.
when it comes to who's going to take the clutch shot earlier in his career, LeBron didn't understand that the best play is to put that ball in the hands of the best player. You know Iman Shumpert?
Yeah, the guy.
He's married to some. I think she's
Speaks on
some.
Kobe.
Yeah,
Yeah, he speaks.
So
Yeah,
he speaks about a situation where he played with Melo in the Knicks, and he was wide open for the last shot.
Yeah.
Melo didn't pass to him.
Yeah.
And he shot on Melo afterwards, and Melo said, "Dude, I'll work on that." You know, and he.
What does it mean? I work on that.
What he understood from that was that, dude, like, this is a scenario that I get paid for. Two guys are on me. I need to take that shot. If I pass to you and you miss, I still have to take responsibility for the team losing. And it was a clutch shot. Melo took responsibility, missed the shot. Now, LeBron in that situation would have made the pass. Because he doesn't want the blame if he misses. He just doesn't want that pressure earlier in his career. Mm-hmm. Now, Kobe understood that that's the best player has to take the shot in the most important moment of the game.
Okay. All right. So, top 5. Jordan, undisputed, number 1. I think we can all agree on that. Mm-hmm. Number 2, who we got?
LeBron.
You got LeBron? You got Braun?
Braun.
He doesn't have Braun.
LeBron.
He's about to be disrespectful. You don't got Braun?
I got Kobe.
Yeah, it's Braun or Kobe.
What?
It's Braun or Kobe.
No, I'm kidding. Second best basketball player of all time. I would have LeBron there. I'd probably have, not going to add your Bill Russells and those guys in there. Just guys that I've actually at least come close to seeing. You know, Jordan, Braun, Kobe, Shaq. I'll probably put Tim Duncan at number 5.
It was dominant.
Shaq again.
Dominant.
Shaq is the most dominant player that's ever touched the basketball.
So wait, we say Jordan, LeBron,
Kobe,
Shaq.
Yeah.
Shaq. That's 4.
No, Tim
5?
Duncan.
That's
Okay. All right.
That's actually a very good.
That's a very good list. All right. So
I could actually agree with that list.
Yeah. All right. So I guess we're getting to the point where we just have to wrap up and close it off. My top 5 list of basketball players is Michael Jordan. That's the end. So we're gonna have to close this out, but I'll just take a camera and then we'll just outside we'll just talk about you asking me questions, right? So this has been a very insightful conversation. We've talked about fatherlessness and the gentrification. I mean, yeah, people are using a lot of like big words here. We've talked about that. We're gonna have a lot more conversations like this. I'm actually gonna throw a proper man's conference on the 14th of February. We'll have a men's conference, a proper one.
You've got to run that by a woman first.
There's no running anything by it. There's a conference. They'd only be a better man for you. That's what you say. So this has been very insightful. This has been a very good conversation. We're going to have a lot more conversations like this in the future going on, leading up to the production of this book. Thank you for your time and for your takes. And like a lot of bars were dropped here, so like it's good to just chat with men like who actually want to see the world become better, because Lord knows we need it. We need it now more than ever. So so that is the end of the show. We've had Pubs. I call him the Beard. The beard. He didn't want to sell beard oil because of about MLM, but that's fine. We've got Tsiamo. Thank you very much with your bars. And then Blues. I call him Lukho there. He knows why I call him that.
That's his name.
Huh?
Because that's his name.
No. I say, hey, Luke. No, look there. It's your father. That's old Trevor Noah joke. All right, so guys, thank you very much for your time. This has been a great conversation. And guys, everyone who's been listening to us, thank you for your time. Remember that success is a progressive realization of where the ideal. That means you're going after what you've always wanted to go after, because it's aligned with the highest values. And that is the only way for you to live a truly fulfilled and successful life. Go out there and change the world, because you're the only person who can. And men need to step up and be men. And women, please support men in building better men, because if strong men rise up, they will inevitably protect, provide, and promote women so that they can be the best that they can be. So if men win, proper men win, all men win, or women win, and then society wins. And that's what we need now more than ever. Thank you very much, everybody, and see you on the next show. Peace out. Peace out, A-Town.
Cut.
Cut.
JC, thanks a lot, brother.
Sorry to have to stop you guys.
Do you say your name is
It's time.